Hi, Dave.
How we doing, Dave?
Doing well. Mookie Betts back in your starting lineup tonight. Did you see a significant difference in the way he was feeling today than the last time you saw him?
I haven't seen him yet. He's in the training room, and this was correspondence with Neil Ramp, our trainer, and he talked to Mookie this morning. Said he felt considerably better, so that was good enough for me. So I'm excited to pencil him in tonight.
You haven't had Mookie, Muncy, and Bellinger in the same lineup on the same day too often this year. How much of a difference do you believe that's going to make for your offense moving forward and the consistency of it?
I think the thing you said is consistency, and that with anything is going to make us better. It's always nice to have your best players in there, and for certain reasons, it just hasn't happened for us this year. So, looking forward to that. I know that he's looking forward to being in there with Cody and Max as well. So today is a scheduled off day for Justin, running him out there for 6 in a row. Wanted to get him off his feet tonight. He'll be available later and play through the off day.
Dave, I know you and your players talked about this going all the way back to spring training, that the bullseye was going to be bigger on you guys because you're the defending World Series champions. Do you believe that your players have found that to be a bigger challenge than what they anticipated going into the season?
I wouldn't say it's a bigger challenge, but you don't know until you know. And I think that you can talk to past World Series champion teams or championship teams in any sport, and the following year kind of seeing the intensity, the focus that the opponents have when they play you. You can expect it, but until you live it, you really just don't know the scope. So I think we know now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question is from Fabian Ardaya. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, I know you kind of touched upon this earlier, but I mean, it seems like the offense, especially this month, has been either sort of like these big outburst innings, or it's been sort of struggling to really make hay. I mean, what is there? Is it randomness involved in that? Is it just sort of inconsistency in the lineups? What do you feel like has contributed to that?
I think there's some randomness to it. There's games where we get to the starter and we put up some crooked numbers. There's games that we get to the starter, days that we score late, and others days that we just don't score at all and can't really get anything going. So for me, I sort of look at the process and how we prepare, game plan, and the at-bat quality 1 through 8 or 9 or whatever. And so I just think that the results have certainly been random. I wish I had an answer, but I do know that every night we're trying to run deeper counts, trying to swing at strikes, take balls, and get base runners. And over the course of 162, I think that our offense has shown to be elite. It's just kind of when you're in the middle of it, it just doesn't seem as elite when you're kind of mired in it day to day.
How much is that stuff that like you feel like you can maybe absorb more over 162, just something like the random sequencing of plays over the course of a game, rather than obviously last year where it seemed like every single game mattered all that much more?
I think part of it, a lot of it is experience and knowing that you can't expect to go out there and be offensive every single night. Guys out there are still trying to get you out, and to still believe that we've got good players. And if we have a good plan in place on how we're going to attack a pitcher and that staff that night or that series, the talent will show through. And it isn't a 60-game season. I know we talk about that before, but the reality is we're looking at 162 and we're almost halfway there, but we understand that, but we're still trying to score as many runs as we can every night.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Next question is from Mike DiGiovanna. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, just wondering what the plan is tonight with Joc Pederson. Are you guys going to give him the ring? And if so, will it be more of a public thing where the fans are here, or something a little earlier before the game?
I don't know, Mike. I know that we didn't do that with other players. I think that's a Lon Rosen thing. I do know that Clayton, Justin, and Cody are going to be a part of something presenting, but I don't know if it's down below on the field. I'm not too sure.
Can you sort of, in a few sentences, wrap up what he meant to this organization over the last several years?
Joc's meant a lot to the organization. Obviously, the relationships that he's had, the relationships that he will continue to have, playing well on the biggest of stages, and helping us win a championship. And so I know that he made our ball club better being a part of the organization, and the fans really related to Joc and the stuff that he did on the field, the energy on the field, and the things that he did off the field, which some were documented. A lot of it wasn't. So, he was one of the really, really good Dodgers.
Last questions from Ron Cervenka. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, what's the availability of the bullpen tonight? Is everybody up or anybody down?
I think we'll look at how Blake feels tonight and Victor, how they feel coming off 2 in a row, albeit kind of a low workload, but we'll just check in on those two guys.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everybody.